I've been saying Canelo, but I think Crawford might pull something. You know
Why?
I think that the odds are in his favor.
Getting in. Let's get it. One of the greats, do what we gotta do. Let's get it, baby. September 13th. Here we come.
First of all, he gotta go in there and he just gotta fight him. You know what I'm saying? He gotta go in there. I think Crawford just gotta go in there and do what he gotta do. You know what I'm saying? He gotta just beat Crawford.
Teofimo Lopez has completely flipped the script. The former unified lightweight champion, who originally backed Canelo Alvarez to beat Terence Crawford, is now siding with the undefeated welterweight star. In an earlier interview, Lopez confidently said Canelo is simply too big and powerful for Crawford, calling the Mexican champion's size, strength, and comfort at 168 pounds a major advantage. Lopez believed that while Crawford might be a brilliant boxer, sheer physicality would win out in a fight agained Canelo.
I think Canelo is just too big for him, though. Canelo's too big, realistically. Too big for him, too strong. He's used to that weight class. You know, you can be a boxer and all those things, but hey.
But that didn't last long. In a more recent conversation, Lopez admitted a change of heart. He now feels that Crawford might pull off the upset. What sparked his shift was not only Crawford's skill set, but also the buzz he's creating around the potential super fight. Lopez noted that while Canelo's name still carries immense star power, it's Crawford who is truly drawing attention to the matchup. He believes that fans are tuning in as much for Crawford's legacy push as they are for Canelo's reputation, and that's a big deal in a fight of this magnitude.
I've been saying Canelo, but I think Crawford might pull something. You know
Why?
I think that the odds are in his favor as far as that. You know, the reason why people are going to tune in is not just because of Canelo, it's going to be mainly because of the Crawford.
This isn't just Lopez's story though. Other fighters and experts have weighed in, and the predictions vary widely. Edgar Berlanga, a rising super middleweight and someone who's familiar with what it feels like to be in the ring at 168, gave his own thoughts on Crawford's chances. Berlanga believes Crawford can win, but only if he sticks to what makes him elite. He stressed that the key is for Crawford to be himself, to rely on his elite IQ, stay confident, and fight with the self-assurance of an undisputed champion.
First of all, he gotta go in there and he just gotta fight him. You know what I'm saying? He gotta go in there. I think Crawford just gotta go in there and do what he gotta do. You know what I'm saying? He gotta just beat Crawford, you know, show his IQ, show him why he's a two-time undisputed, you know, world champion, and go in there with confidence, you know what I'm saying?
Still, Berlanga is realistic about the challenges ahead for Crawford. He pointed out that jumping 2 weight classes to 168 without testing the waters is a massive risk, especially for a 38-year-old who's also been somewhat inactive. While Crawford may still perform at a high level, Berlanga questioned whether the Nebraska native can absorb Canelo's power and keep up with the physical intensity of a full-size super middleweight bout.
That's all it is, you know, it's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. You know, that could be a difference in a fight, you know, because obviously, you know, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a feel the power, I'm a feel that size difference, you know, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said if he loses.
He also noted that Crawford's toughest test came recently against Israel Madrimov, where Crawford took more damage than he's used to. That kind of punishment raises questions about how he'll handle someone as experienced and powerful as Canelo.
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that the fight off is the size and, you know, obviously the power and Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a lot much bigger guys. You know, so I know the Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Adding to the growing list of fighters backing Terence Crawford, former heavyweight champion Shannon Briggs also voiced his support for the undefeated welterweight. Known for his loud, passionate takes, Briggs didn't hold back when discussing the potential outcome of the Canelo Alvarez versus Crawford bout. According to Briggs, not only does he believe Crawford will win, he believes the Nebraska native will get a stoppage victory in the later rounds. Briggs emphasized Crawford's ability to seamlessly switch between orthodox and southpaw stances as a major factor in his prediction. This versatility, he said, makes Crawford a unique and unpredictable threat inside the ring.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Crawford by stoppage. And I've known him since he was a little kid, you know, 12 years old. So to see him now fighting for a title in such a big fight, it's a great experience, great to see.
Last question for me then, how do you think Crawford stops him? How do you think he's able to work Canelo enough for him to stop the fight, drop, knock him down? How do you think this is possible by Crawford style?
He gonna box him, he can fight both ways. He gonna trick him up. You know, one thing Canelo showed is that he can be outboxed. But I think this time in the late rounds, you know, I think Crawford might have something for him.
But this does not stop here, as even Crawford's reflexes have become a topic of debate. A recent friendly slapboxing clip with Nico Ali Walsh, Muhammad Ali's grandson, sparked discussions about whether the aging Crawford still possesses the same quickness that has defined much of his career. In the playful exchange, both fighters took turns landing light taps and joking around. While it was all in good fun, some onlookers used it as a subtle hint that Crawford might not be as sharp as he once was, especially heading into a fight where razor-sharp reflexes could make the difference between winning and getting caught by a Canelo power shot.
Okay, that's one. Shut up. You're going to 5. We're going to 5. I got you. No, it's not. We got each other. No, I said shoulder body. No, it's you're lying.
Rolando Raleigh Romero didn't hold back in his criticism either. Recently crowned as the WBA regular welterweight champion, Romero blasted Canelo's performance against Skull, calling it disappointing and lacking fire. He even went so far as to label Canelo a disgrace for the way that fight played out. Despite this harsh opinion, Romero made it clear that he's not outright predicting a Crawford win. He just hopes it happens. He wants Crawford to punish Canelo even if he's not betting on it.
Canelo. I hope Crawford beats the shit. Really? Yeah? Now, I'll tell you like this, I mean, the weight division things, you know, but I hope Crawford beats the shit.
Why do you want to see Crawford beat the ish out of Canelo?
I just hope Crawford beats the shit.
Why? Like, Canelo, is it because of the last fight? Like you haven't been a fan of Canelo, or like why? Like, you like Crawford that much?
What Canelo did on that day was disrespectful to boxing.
The conversation surrounding this fight is unique in that it's not dominated by just one storyline. Some believe Crawford's supreme technical ability will be enough. Others argue that size and power will eventually break him down. And then there are those who want to see the upset simply for the sake of shaking up the sport, even if they don't believe it will happen. One thing is clear, both men have the skills and the mental toughness to win. What remains uncertain is whether Crawford can overcome the physical disadvantages and rise above the natural weight gap.
That's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
While Crawford's resume is stacked with wins, this leap into the super middleweight division is uncharted territory. His confidence, ring IQ, and precision are undeniable, but Canelo has spent years getting comfortable at 168 and knows how to use his body to wear opponents down. That difference in comfort and familiarity could play a significant role, especially in the later rounds if the fight turns into a grueling battle of attrition.
Well, I would say Crawford wins the fight based off of the skill set. That's the first and foremost. I think the biggest worry for me when it comes to that is just the size difference. Because obviously, great Mike Tyson said, you know, you have a game plan until you actually get in there and you get hit, and then that changes the whole outcome of the fight. So I'm hoping that he's able to endure what Canelo's gonna bring, but I think he has the skill set to be able to be like eluding all of the big shots and hit, not get hit. What does brother Nassim said? He has the most famous quote, swim without getting wet.
Another major factor is momentum. Canelo may have been criticized for his last outing, but he remains active and has stayed within his weight class. Crawford, despite being unbeaten and historically dominant, hasn't fought frequently and now faces a massive leap not just in competition but also in body weight. The physical strain combined with age and time away from the ring can add up, even for someone as gifted as Crawford.
Nothing.
I think it's gonna be a good fight for the first 4 rounds. I think Canelo's size just going, take over. Like I said, I could be wrong. Crawford's phenomenal, but from what I've seen with the kid Maxtronoff and the way he gave him trouble moving up 2 more weight classes, 60 to 68, and Canelo gonna come in about 200 pounds. I just think I don't think Canelo's never been stopped, and I don't think he's gonna be able to keep Canelo off of him.
Yet, if there's one fighter who has built a career on defying expectations and proving doubters wrong, it's Terence Crawford. Many counted him out at various stages in his career, and each time he's responded with brilliance. If he manages to beat Canelo on September 13th, it could be one of the most remarkable achievements in boxing history. An aging welterweight champion, jumping 2 divisions to defeat one of the sport's most dominant champions in his own territory.
I guess I was wrong. I was wrong. Listen, you guys know I've been trolling Terence Crawford fanboys for about a week now. Okay, talking about, Terence Crawford can beat Canelo because he can wrestle. Well, I'm going to tell you, his wrestling skills is not a bad point. Listen, did y'all see this video where he tosses a heavyweight to the ground? Listen, dude, not only any heavyweight, this is Nico Ali Wash. He got Ali's blood in him. And here's the thing. When I was clowning you guys and trolling, talking about he can wrestle.
Calling Terence Crawford extremely strong, Showbiz the Adult went on to break down the footage of Crawford putting down a heavyweight nerd named Nico from a high position. Analyzing the moment frame by frame, he was stunned by Crawford's raw power and technique, emphasizing that such strength from a naturally smaller fighter isn't normal. The breakdown convinced him even further that Crawford isn't just skill. He's physically gifted in ways that defy weight class expectation.
Listen, bro. It's because it's a boxing match, okay? And it's not wrestling. But when you look at his footage, he tossed Nico to the ground from a standing position. From a clinching position, he tosses down a heavyweight. The type of position you're clinching in a boxing match. Brother, Terence Crawford is extremely strong. The guy is extremely strong.
The hype around Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez isn't just limited to boxing circles. UFC stars are chiming in too. Rising MMA personality Paddy Pimblett recently shared his thoughts, backing Crawford to pull off the upset. A big fan of Crawford's slick style and sharp fight IQ, Pimblett admitted he's not a fan of Canelo and believes the size difference won't be enough. Despite Canelo being the naturally bigger fighter, Paddy predicts Crawford will outbox him over 12 rounds and walk away with a decision win. The crossover buzz keeps growing.
Terence Bud Crawford or Canelo, who do you got in that one?
Well, I really like Terence Crawford, so I'd back him. You know what I mean? I like Canelo, but I'm not his biggest fan. I'd rather see Crawford win and shake up the boxing world a bit.
Do you think it'd be a decision, or you think he can put him out there?
I don't know. Canelo's a lot bigger than him, so more than likely be a decision.
UFC champion Alexander Volkanovski added his voice to the growing anticipation for Crawford versus Canelo, calling it one of the most exciting fights in boxing history. Clearly impressed by both men's athleticism and elite skill sets, Volkanovski admitted he couldn't pick a side. While he praised Crawford's technical brilliance and Canelo's powerful presence in the ring, he chose to stay neutral, simply expressing his excitement for the event. With mutual respect for both fighters, he wished them good luck and joined the chorus of fans counting down to fight night.
Oh man, that's incredible to see happening. But it would be interesting to see how Canelo and Crawford goes. Obviously moving up, man, Canelo's a beast, so it's but Crawford's so good. Man, I don't know who am I leaning towards. Man, Crawford's so good, but Canelo having the size, I don't know, man. I can't pick it. Look at me. I literally cannot pick it. I just think I just got so much respect for both of them. I think they're both incredible, and I cannot just wait to watch and see the result.
Yet, despite all this praise for Crawford's adaptability and ring IQ, the fact remains he's stepping into unfamiliar territory. Canelo has faced some of the toughest fighters at 168 and beyond. His experience against naturally bigger men gives him a different kind of edge, one not based purely on skill, but on physicality and toughness. Crawford, no matter how skilled, hasn't proven himself yet in that kind of environment.
Winning rounds. He has a sneaky way of finding his niche. For instance, when he fought the guy that he lost to just recently. Bivol, yeah. Shout out to Bivol. He wasn't really able to find that niche there, but in spurts you can see him adapting, right? And so the biggest difference between Bivol and Crawford is the size difference and the power. Even though Bivol was an ultimate boxer, he still was able to keep him off him with the sheer power and strength. But with Crawford, I think that it'll be challenging for Canelo to get around the skill set, but it wouldn't be challenging for him to be able to endure the pain. And so that's what Canelo, because the mindset too is
Crawford versus Canelo is shaping up to be a rare showdown where anything truly feels possible. Both men bring greatness into the ring, but only one will leave with their legacy elevated even further. Will Crawford shock the world and cement his name alongside the sport's all-time greats? Or will Canelo show once again why he's ruled the super middleweight division with an iron fist? Either way, fans are in for a fight that could go down as a modern classic, and maybe even a career-defining moment for whoever comes out on top. Crawford versus Canelo isn't just a fight, it's a clash of eras, styles, and legacies? Will the slick technician rise 2 weight classes and shock the world? Or will the seasoned powerhouse remind everyone why he's king at 168? Drop your prediction in the comments. Who takes it, Crawford or Canelo? If you're fired up for this historic showdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update leading to Fight Night. This one could rewrite boxing history, and you'll want a front row seat.